Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to my live Forex trading show this morning. Let's see, it's Wednesday. What's the date today? The 12th. So welcome. This is Vance Williams. I'm currently here in Dallas, Texas, and it is like many parts of the United States right now. It's getting very cold, so I'm a little chilly right now where I'm at. I wasn't able to get the heat up very much. But anyway, you guys stay warm out there. That Arctic front is going to make it very cold. I just want to show you real quick if you're watching the show from forexautoaward.com, make sure you click on that page right here. Or obviously, if you're watching, you're on the show. But I just want to bring to your attention when you do click on the show to watch it. Hang on, let me make sure I'm not muted or something here. Give me just a second. I'm on remote, so I don't have quite all the tools that I normally have when I'm back at home. But I just want to say, when you click on the show and start it, be sure and click on "Be Part of the Conversation" right there when it pops up, and you'll see these links over here where you can follow me on Twitter to get notices about the show, or go to forexautoaward.com and actually download these books here on the top right of the page. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to the show. I guess, you guys have been writing me and saying you're really enjoying me talking about the banks. I will say there's no way for me to really verify that information is accurate, so please keep that in mind as I talk about it. Looking at the banks this morning, one of the most successful banks placed a sell order at up around 25.50, so price isn't there yet for the euro. They did this last week. Actually, several of the banks did put a sell order up a little higher, probably as a strategy to manage their risk on a further movement up before we see another drop. When they did that, it didn't work out. Price just dropped anyway. So these I've noticed patterns in my own trading and in bank tradings. Usually, we'll see those patterns repeat. So we'll watch. In fundamentals, the big news that we've been waiting for, after non-farm and the day before the Veterans Day and Veterans Holiday yesterday, and by the way, thank you to all the men and women who served in the armed services. We've been waiting for Carney to speak, and he did speak this morning, and he did quite at length. For those of you who don't know who Carney is, he oversees the Bank of England policy for the central bank. But basically, he just had negative things to say. It wasn't neutral. It was like, no, the outlook looks poor. And obviously had some upbeat stuff, but it was pretty clear. So I think most of us were expecting something neutral, kind of like when the ECB did this a couple weeks ago. Again, there's that pattern. Watch for those patterns. So it's kind of the same thing. And so as a result, we saw the pound drop. Let me just go ahead and pull up the chart. You can see it's dropped quite strongly. And I'm going to take a close look at that in a moment. But let me just say that our long-term story, when I say long-term, we really refer to that as medium-term, that's 6 to 18 months out. That story has not changed. It's still looking strong US dollar, weaker euro, and now weaker pound. So we do have permission for some move to the downside. Now, some of you might be saying, well, how come the euro's going up? Well, as I mentioned yesterday, a lot of times the movement that we see is unrelated to speculation or the Forex market at all, any transactions in Forex. And what it really is, it's money moving out of the US dollar and into investments. So if the business climate is very good, if investors are feeling like the future is looking bright, what have you, they'll take money out of dollars and move it into other products and instruments. And what that does is that causes the dollar to appear to go down, when in effect all that's happening is they're making a withdrawal. So keep that in mind. That could be what we're seeing right now. So first of all, let's take a look at the pound. As we can see on the information released by Carney, if you follow my mouse, let me make sure I'm sharing the correct screen. I'm not. I switched to the screen but didn't switch it to the chart. Just a moment. Glad I caught that. Okay. Let me click and double check. Yep, you're actually, well, let me just make sure. Yes, you're seeing the charts. Again, I'm operating with limited equipment, probably 1/10 of the computer power I normally have, 1/10 of the internet speed. So I'm just grateful it's been working the last couple of days. Anyway, so looking at my mouse here, you can see the drop right here coming down. This is basically on, as he's speaking and, giving his view of the outlook for the UK. So we see this drop. Now, I told you yesterday, we had this key level here where there's going to be buyers, and you can see it did chop around in there, and we can take a closer look at that on a shorter time frame. And I'm going to put just some lines in there so when we do, we can actually see that. Put one there, and I want to put one coming across here so we know where that level is when we drop down. Okay. So I said we were going to get some buyers here in this area, and you did. It had a chop through here, but it came down through. Now, when we get into this area, this is where there's more buy orders. This is basically the low, low, low. So if we were to come out to the daily chart just for a second, we would see that's the low. I mean, the lowest in the past few years. So it's a really significant number. And whenever price comes back into that area, there's going to be some people camped out there waiting to buy. And that doesn't mean it's going to go up. They just know that that's an area of supply. You can see that there are orders here. There's probably going to be more orders, and as a result, it invites even more orders in this area. And you can see they came in a little bit shorter, a little higher. So there was quite a bit of anticipation that there was going to be a bit of a bounce here. So that's what's holding price right now. The sentiment is positive USD, negative pound, but they ran into these buy orders right now. Now, what we could see in a short period of time here is this drop down through here. I mean, there's really not a lot to stop it at this point, except for those buy orders that were sitting there. So watch for that move. Now, when I drop down to the 5 minutes, I want to see what the behavior was. Okay, so you see, I mean, let me zoom in a little bit. You see it really took a bounce there, came down. I think at 7:30 is when it turned over from buyers to sellers. So that was I've got this on my screen. Let me get rid of that. 7:30. Oh, it was all the way at the bottom before it turned over. So it's basically where the big money is about equal right around this period, right this area. So that's another reason why it stalled here. Okay, so you can see it's holding right at that price level as far as the buyers. That's where the sellers and buyers are basically equal right now. And that's why price is not moving higher at that price. All right, so if we was to drop down a little bit, we see that next level, that next important level is just right below there. So were there trades in here? It would have been difficult while he's talking during a high impact moment to get the price that you want with a retail broker. So there probably wasn't much there. And it looks like these are pretty small moves. Possibly this one was a little choppy here. So not a lot of great movement. Sometimes these moves can be deceiving. Let me put see how big it was. Okay, so that little move right there was 24. So there was potentially something right here. And then there was potentially something here. Yeah. So this little move here, there was a potential, and you got to really watch this. It probably pulled back here and pushed again right here, and then that caused this correction up. So now they pushed again, and now it's just stalled. They're waiting for something. All right, so that's where we're at. Now let's put, well, let me just zoom out, and you'll see the price levels. Better zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so 58.04 to 57.89, you're going to see some buy orders right in that area. So it'll run into some choppiness there. But once it gets below, there might even be some sell stops down in there where people are speculating on a good drop after that point. So something to watch for. We're pretty far away from this top, so we won't really talk about that now. All right, going over to the euro. We've seen this many times. Looks like this euro is kind of following a bit of a trend line coming across here. And there's nothing scientific about that. It's just it's kind of hanging on that level. I would say 2,500 is still the important number right here, 2,500. And I think there's a lot of people interested in selling all through here, and they keep getting rewarded when they do. So it'll take some real buyer strength to get through here. And even when they get through here, they've got to get through this level here as well. So there's buy orders all through here, and like I told you, one of the big banks, they have orders sitting. Well, it's a little bit higher, right up in here. So there's a lot of orders sitting in here. So the buyers have, a lot to be confronted with on the way up here. So I'm still looking. I think probably everyone's waiting for that moment of when's it ready to make its next leg down. And by next leg down, I'm talking break down below 2,300. Everybody's waiting. When is that moment? Now, just using likelihood and probabilities alone, which is really all we have, there's not a lot keeping it from doing that right now. Does have a ways to go. It's at 27.84 and 23.69. So it's about 100 pips to go. So in the absence of something really strong pushing up, we'll likely probably test this 12400 level. So, wow, I talked a lot longer than I intended to, but hopefully you got at least something out of there that helps you with your trading. Again, what I do here is for educational purposes only, so please don't get confident about something you hear me say. Like right now, don't sell and target 2405. I mean, there's more to trading than just knowing which way price is going to go. You have to manage your risk. You have to be able to execute, without your emotions getting in the way. And it's not hard to do, but it's something that you have to work at. So with that, I'm going to be meeting with our members in our live trading room in about an hour at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So I'll see you guys there. And everybody else, have a great day and thank you.